Back in the Prius. Back in the Prius, guys. I think this is my thing. I'm gonna wait for people to come on here before I start talking to myself. What's up, Kay? Yo, I was thinking about this right before I came on here. I think I'm one of my nicknames is gonna be the Prius Preacher. I think when stuff pops off, I think Prius Preacher is gonna catch. I have a feeling. Y'all don't have to call me that, but I got a feeling like that's gonna catch. Prius Preacher. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I like the idea of like starting from the gutter, starting from the bottom. I think the issue that we've had like a lot of people that we've seen like make it on social media, like really grind it out, but like the problem is, like we talk about in the manifesto, like our society is stripped meaning from existence and put it behind a paywall. So, but tonight we're going to talk about New America. New America. Life after all this BS. We always start at 9:05, give people like 5 minutes to come in. Couple of things for you guys who are here. Hey, Car. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Dark. Wait for a few more people here. Wait for a few more people. Actually, no. Let's just jump because we so I think a couple things. Actually, no, I do need to wait because it makes no sense to make this announcement. What's up? What's up, Juice? What's up, guys? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna wait till 9:05 to make that announcement because it doesn't make sense to make it when nobody's here. What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? We're talking about New America and life after Trump. Welcome to the National Unity Conference tonight. Last night we talked about the male loneliness epidemic. The night before that we talked about strategies for how to get through this whole revolution, this whole ordeal. So make sure you guys take notes, screen record, whatever you want to do. But the goal of these conferences is to unite us. The goal of this conference is to give us a collective voice. And to like, okay, guys, let's get to the heart of it. And I think I got it tonight. And I say it in the manifesto, but I really want to go there tonight because I think that there is something that when I say it, everyone's going to go, oh, yeah, that makes total sense. We can all get behind that. Everyone, like, it's just going to be like, why didn't anybody think of that, right? Like, when I say it, it's going to be like so obvious. But yeah, tonight we're going to talk about what's the thing that we're going to unify behind. And I think this is the thing that we're going to go moving forward because it's one of these things that nobody's happy right now, right? Like nobody's happy. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you on. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter how much. Nobody's happy. Nobody is like, man, this is the best America has ever been. Nobody is saying that. Okay. Nobody's happy. And I think that that's where we can start from. Nobody being happy. So we're going to jump into it in 2 minutes. Want to let a couple more people get in here. What's up, Jen? What's up, guys? I think that Christian video that I dropped today, where I kind of go off on Christians or Christianity. I don't really go off on Christians. It's Christianity. I think that one might pop. I think that's going to be the one. I think that's the one that's going to get me in trouble. But it is what it is. You got to live authentically. All right. So one more minute. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about, I got a couple not business things, but just like things I got to talk about. And then I'll take like 30 seconds and then we'll jump straight into it. What's up, Nora? What's up, Sade? What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Mel? What's up, Jamie? What's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing good? Good. Thank you guys for coming, man. I'm about to be at, I think I'm almost at 2,000 followers. It's pretty cool. Everybody knows, like last Monday, Tuesday, I only had 30 followers. So it's kind of cool. You guys are on the ground level. Okay, so let's get straight into this. National Unity Conference. Thank you, everybody. So for coming tonight. The purpose of these things are to get Americans together. All right, that's it. Everybody is upset. Everybody has an issue with either the president, either the Dems, the right, the left. Everybody's got issue. All right, we're gonna come together, and tonight, we're gonna. This is the thing that this is gonna be our unifying voice. Okay. Couple things. TikTok. Apparently, I can start having subscribers. If you guys are interested in that, like subscribing or whatever, and if there are like certain perks you guys will want, feel free to message me. Let me know. I guess I just got enough views on the last live that TikTok was like, hey, if you want to do subscribers. So if that's something you guys be interested in, let me know. Hit the heart or message me or something like that. But forget all that. Let's go straight into what I want to talk about tonight. The thing that we all need to unify behind. Okay, so what I'm trying to do with on my page with my manifesto, the Overmen's Manifesto, is I'm trying to give the collective a voice. I'm trying to give the rest of the world woke up. Yep. I'm trying to give the collective a voice. That's what I was trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do with the Overmen's Manifesto. So I think it's cool. Like, you guys download it, read it in your own voice. You know, go to your favorite part, whatever part stuck with you. Because I'm trying to give us a collective voice. I'm just trying to say what we're all internally feeling and speaking. And I think this is very important because one of the underpinnings, I think, of our society, of American society, is it takes emotion out of things. Like, it takes realness, it takes rawness, it takes like the soul out of us. Like, we go to jobs that we don't really want to go to, but we have to go to. And even if we do have a job that we like, it's like the freedom that we experience is so minimal. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do, thank you, Nelson. One of the things that I'm trying to do is like, is just get to our gut, get to what we're all thinking and feeling, because feelings are a part of the human experience. And right now we're living in this stupid time period where it's like, it almost feels like you have to be inauthentic to survive. And I want to show people, no, your authenticity is what the world needs. The world needs me at my raw, authentic self. The world needs you at your raw, authentic self. So this manifesto for me, I want to do a pro-human manifesto. Okay, this is a pro-human manifesto. And what I'm trying to help people to understand right now is we can name all the systems. All the systems are right? It's not that, I say don't get in the weeds. It's not that I don't think capitalism is an issue, or white supremacy, or our politics, or the left, or the right. It's not that I don't think that these things are issues. It's that we can sort of like summarize all these things in that there are just inhumane people in control, period. Because none of us would come up with a system like this. None of us would be like, you know what society should do? Everybody should be forced to work jobs that they don't really want. And everybody, is going to feel like, man, I can't get ahead. Like, we would never do that. And what we got to understand is that society is built for the collective. But if you put the ruling class, if you put the people at the top who only care about self, then society is only going to be for a few. I think a lot of us think that, things have to be this way. I think a lot of us think like, well, it's always been this way, so it's always going to be this way. No. We are living in a revolutionary period, regardless of what's going on in the United States of America. The technological advances. Bro, I don't care what anybody says. Children are smarter these days. I don't care what anybody says, bro. These kids are more intelligent. I just watched a little 5-year-old on Facebook explain like the center of mass to me. My 3-year-old, her emotional intelligence is like insane. Like our technology and the human species is evolving like very rapidly right now. And we are stuck in this stupid little era where the people at the top of society, they only care about self. They only care about power. They only care about accumulation. So they don't really understand the joy that we get when we watch a little 5-year-old like explain the center of mass, because in their head, if it's not making money, if it's not me winning, if it's not me dominating, then it doesn't make sense. And so now we live in these ego-driven societies, right? Where meaning has been stripped of it. And so I wanted to come up with a pro-human manifesto that goes, no, we need a pro-human society. And you can't have a pro-human society. Like, if the people at the top of the society are inhumane and only care about themselves. Like some of these things that are going on, like I know that it's very hard for us to think past capitalism or think past the Constitution or even think past religion or things like that. I get it, but we got to start asking like better questions. Like, why are we the only species on this planet that pays for food? Like, why? I was reading the other day, we actually produce enough food for 10 billion people, but there's only 7 billion people on the planet, and yet we still have like starvation and hunger. Like, we just need to ask better questions and not allow systems to be in our way, because we can recreate the systems. And what we are seeing in real time is that a lot of these systems were literally built on BS. They were built on lies, which is why they're crumbling. They weren't built for me. There's no way around it. You can amend it all you want. The United States Constitution was not written for me. It was not written for most of you guys watching this. For probably all you guys watching this, to be honest, the Constitution is very clear the small class of people that it's written for. And we can amend it and we can amend it and we can like negotiate with these people who never wanted us to have rights. You can keep negotiating with these people if you want, but at some point we got to go, listen. These people are in our way. These people are holding back evolution. Like, we are watching it in our children. We are watching these brilliant individuals, these brilliant like new manifestations of the universe. And I'm just like amazed by the next. I'm a millennial. I was amazed by Gen Z. Like, I thought Gen Z was like incredible. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are like even in like my late 20s, because I'm 35, I'll be 36 at the end of the month. But even in my late 20s, early 30s, I was like, oh my gosh, Gen Z is like, they're way better than we were. But now that I have children, I have an 11-year-old and I have all the way down to 3-year-old. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are my children so like amazing? And I figured it out. What we need to do on a go forward basis, what is going to unify this country, and I say it in the manifesto, and I genuinely do believe this, we need to focus on building the best possible society for the most number of children, period. Because think about all the ways we're divided. We're divided by class, we're divided by race, we're divided by gender, we're divided by abilities, we're divided by all these things. Children are all those. We need a society for rich children. We need a society for poor children. We need a society for black children. We need a society for white children. We need a society for immigrant children. We need a society for disabled children. We need a society for that. All the ways that they divide us, all the ways that they just get us like fighting against each other. Literally, if we just focus on our kids, all of these ways make stupid. Like, all of these ways seem stupid. Like, even to our kids, it seems stupid. Right? Like, if you ever watch your children interact, like, your child doesn't go, oh, she's black or she's white or she talks another language, right? Like, kids don't inherently do that. That's something that our culture and our society and people ingrain in children. Children aren't classes. Children aren't racist. Children aren't, bro, I remember, like, I'm gonna tell you guys something. This was amazing to me. The trans conversation in my household was a 30-second conversation. You know how like conservatives will be like, oh, the trans are coming for our kids. And I'm like, this is so dumb. Bro, the trans conversation was a 30-second conversation in my house. Here's exactly how it went. My daughter was in the 3rd grade and she goes, Dad, we got a new kid in class today. And I said, oh, what's their name? And she told me their name, and I don't remember it right now, but it was like a gender neutral name. But because my daughter's a girl, I just assumed that this person was a girl. And so I said, oh, is she nice? And no lie, my daughter, she was like on a ball or something, like playing with something. And she looks up from that and she looks at me and she goes, their pronouns are they, them. I said, what? And she goes, they go by they. And I said, oh, are they nice? She says, yeah, it seems cool. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty nice. And so then I said, okay, well, here's an opportunity. I said, so what do you think about the pronouns? What do you think about it? She goes, I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of different. And then she just ran off. That was the entire trans conversation. That was it. We were done. I didn't have to sit down and explain to her, hey, just because this person is trans, that still means you're a girl. Like, I didn't have to do that. Like, it was a 30-second conversation where she went, oh, there's a different kid in class. And I went, oh, so what do you think about that? Yeah, it's cool. That's it. That's it. And when I think about it, isn't that how we want the adults to be? Isn't that what trans people want? Like, don't you literally want us to not care that you're trans? I'm like, oh, my kid is ahead of whatever I did. I don't know what I did, but she figured it out. she figured it out, I guess, right? Like, kids, they're not classist, they're not racist, they're not they're not sexist, they're not transphobic, homophobic. Like, if we just literally focus on the kids, you start to go, like, people have an issue with me saying like things are dumb or things are stupid. It's because if you start looking at this stuff from a child's perspective, it makes no sense. We tell our children criminals are bad guys, and then half the country is perfectly okay with a criminal running the country. Like, how do I reconcile this with my child? Like, I don't care how you felt about the left. I don't care how you felt about, like, that's not important. Like, we are destroying meaning. Like, the meaning that we're trying to raise our children on this level of meaning, but then we're going out into the world and accepting things that don't make sense, right? It's like we're trying to teach our children love, respect, and everything, but then, like, we got to point out that person a leftist, or we got to point out that person's MAGA, or we got to point out that it's like, no, guys, we need to focus on the kids. Rich kids deserve human rights. Poor kids deserve human rights. Disabled kids deserve human rights. Gay kids, trans kids, black kids, white kids, immigrant kids, children. We need to build a society for the population of people that cannot build it for themselves. That's what got me here, fighting for my nonverbal autistic daughter. I'm not trying to start a revolution because it's like, hey, man, like, and this is why nothing is sticking. This is why the left can't get momentum. This is why the right had to basically sell out to Donald Trump. And, like, we don't have a Republican Party anymore. Like, there's no conservative values. Donald Trump ruined that. They ruined that. There's no conservative values. You can try to reconcile it all you want, but again, the words that you're using, you are destroying with how we live. So the meaning in which we're trying to stand things on, the words don't mean anything. No words mean anything in our society because we tolerate so much. We tolerate so much. And so it's one of these things where it's like, we get so caught up in all these things, and it's like, yo, we got to bring it back and just go, listen, we need to build a society for the greatest number of children. We need to build the best society for the most number of children. That includes the Christian child, that includes the Muslim child, that includes everybody. Okay? These people are human rights. I am here because I'm fighting for my daughter. Period. I genuinely don't feel I need to justify nothing else to nobody else. I'm trying to, like, start a revolution because my nonverbal autistic child cannot be safe with the public education system as it is. That's it. That's where I'm going. And the reason why nothing works is because nobody is building things on principles. People are still looking for policies while the United States of America is in an existential crisis. We're talking about policies. The United States principles are coming to check, right? What the founding fathers said is coming straight up ahead with a reality that records it in real time. Okay, you guys said you were for liberty. You guys said that this party is for that. But now we can see it in real time. We can check the tape as you're doing it. Like, people don't get it. One of the things I talk about, and I'm about to get to this next part, because I know today I kind of went in on the Christians. One thing I'm going to talk about in the next part of this section about God is that I genuinely believe the gods of the past made sense for their time period. Like, I totally think worshiping Jesus totally made sense in the first century when nobody could read. Like nobody thinks about that when we start talking about these like religious ideas. Like we got to bring them down to the dirt. Like that makes total sense back then. That makes total sense, that given probably the world, that there's probably wasn't all this clean drinking water, people probably died from all kinds of stuff. It would make total sense that if somebody showed up with a radical message and everyone was like mass hysteria over this person, they were doing miracles, and there's all these oral traditions going around, bro, that makes total sense. I would totally call that guy the Son of God. It makes total sense. Now I can read though. Like now I can read. It's not that and here's the thing. I've said it before. Jesus is a former mentor of mine. I ain't got no problem with him. But because I can read, I can tell what that guy at the pulpit is saying is BS. And I can tell that what you say you stand for is not really what you stand for. Cause I can read, right? Same thing with any other religion. Our issue is we are not myth making with integrity anymore. We are not looking out into things that we don't understand and trying to imagine, okay, what is on the other side of that? What is like that? That's how I came to the conclusion that human beings are the meaning makers of the universe. We are the universe getting to know itself, because I'm trying to search. I'm trying to like, okay, like I live in this country where you guys like, it doesn't make sense. My daughter is nonverbal and autistic. Why is there a person? Why is her teacher someone who gets joy from like doing these cruel and unusual punishment to her? Like, why didn't anybody say anything? Why do you guys have this elaborate scheme? Like, it's nonsensical, based upon the meaning, based upon what we say children are, based upon what we say public education is, based upon what we say integrity is, and the people who are in. Like, none of it makes sense. And so I'm trying to make sense of the things that don't make sense. And so I'm searching into the unknown, and I got all these questions. I talk about on my YouTube channel, like holding in that crash out, right? Because when you find out some crazy stuff happened to your kid, yes, you want to crash out, but disciplining that anger and disciplining that hatred, and then looking out into the unknown and trying to go, yo, like, and here's what got me. Right? And I promise this all makes sense. I'm not going off on a tangent. This is all connected, right? Because I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about how I got here and why I think this is where we need to focus. Here's what really got me. And I said it in a stitch today where somebody was saying, and again, you guys know me, I think we need to live a diverse country means that people will disagree with me, and I need to be okay that they disagree. And I love how that creator responded. She said, respectfully disagree. I loved her comment, because I believe that's what needs to happen. I should not have to turn myself down because someone disagrees with me, and she should not have to turn herself down because she disagrees. We can just live our truths, and it will be shown which one was right? But she was saying, you know, these people aren't dumb. They're not stupid. They're bigots. And I was like, no. These people are stupid. And one of the reasons why I came to that conclusion is because I remember speaking to all the witnesses who saw what happened to my kid. And I remember going like, yo, again, being a former cult leader myself, I'm like, yo, these guys are not intelligent. Like, this superintendent is stupid. Like, this wasn't even a good plan. Like, and I'm sitting here getting all this information. I'm like, yo, these guys could, like, even when they rigged my custody hearing, even when the judge who was, for my custody hearing, when they took my kids from me, she was a senior partner at the law firm. I was like, yo, why would you make it that obvious? Like, I can Google her, bro. Like, why would you put the senior partner at the law firm for the school district head of my custody? Like, I know why you did it, but don't you think you should hide it? And that's when I started to realize, yo, we be giving these people in power more credit than they deserve. We be giving these, and it's because we have a definition of meaning and power and hierarchy where in our head, our leaders have to be better than us. Because if they're not, hatred, like, if when you come to the realization that the people above me, they're not more intelligent than me, they're not like better than me, they can't work harder than me, they're literally cheating. They're cheating. Like, that's it. They're cheating. You could name whatever system. Capitalism is a system to help you cheat, right? White supremacy is a system to help you cheat. Patriarchy is a system to help you cheat. Like, they're cheating. They're just not playing by the same rules. And when you realize the pain and suffering you're going through is not because these guys have some master genius plan. It's literally because they don't care. They've not thought about the issue deeply. I don't care. I do not believe a single person in the Trump administration could write the Overman's Manifesto. And because I believe that, I'm like, give me the White House, bro. It doesn't make any logical sense for people who can't do what I do to be leading me. This is why it doesn't make sense. This is why we're all having an existential crisis, right? And again, as a black person, it's easier for me to get this because blackness requires me to self-actualize, right? Historically, right, speaking, right, black people are told you're something that you're not. And it's reinforced all in society. So blackness has to self-actualize underneath white supremacy. This is why in the male loneliness epidemic, I'm like, y'all, there was patriarchy for a long time. Women got liberated and they sprinted, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's what happens when you oppress people. What happens when you oppress people is like they learn you and themselves because they have to survive, right? And so it's one of these things where I go, yo, we are working really, really hard. We are the people who watch and do dissertations on fascism and capitalism and socialism and left wing. These guys above us don't. Those people you can hear them when they talk. They sound dumb. They contradict themselves within the sentence. And I'm sitting here like, bro, I work too hard to be logical for these people to have power over me. That's it. And not only that, if you put an idiot in charge of me, he's not going to do what's best for my kid. He's going to do what's best for him, and it's going to put my child in danger. It's not even like, and again, maybe I'm not the best guy for the job, but I'm better than what y'all got. And we need more people to just step up and say that. Because that's how a lot of you guys feel. A lot of you guys look at what's going on in the country and you go, dog, I could do better than that. Like, I could respond to this situation. I could lead, I just wouldn't I just wouldn't pass that bill. At minimum, I would stand up. At minimum, I wouldn't vote for it. Like, I could at least do that, right? It's not intelligent, but some things people say doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just like, we're just like, bro, but that's the issue with society. We are not optimizing society. We need the best individuals we need it. Our children need it. We can't afford to have idiots at the top. We can't afford to have unqualified people at the top. We cannot afford to have people who don't genuinely care about the country at the top. People at the top of the United States of America, do you know how big we are? Do you know how diverse we are? Do you know all the different attitudes? This is why it's like in the new America, we need to elevate the role of state governor. Americans need to be focused on their local stuff. If me in Oregon, I don't need to, unless I'm moving to California, I shouldn't even, not that I don't care, but it's like, this is distracting. Like, what's going on in my hometown, right? I did a post about it on like Facebook, but I was like, we had a protest here about ICE in the city. And I'm like, yo, we don't have this city is 90+% white. We don't have immigration issues here. This is performative. You're mad about issues far away when you could be doing something right here at home. We're all in the 24 news cycle talking about what's going on over here, what's in Gaza and this and that. Bro, we need to get local so we can actually see the problem. We need to elevate the role of our state. We should be more, hey, state governor, what are you going to do? Because that's where a lot of the issues at. It's at the state. It's at the local level, right? And so this is why we can't have foolishness at the top. Because then we all just get distracted. We all just get distracted by BS, right? There comes a point when you just have to be a raw, visceral human. This ain't left. This ain't right. I don't care. Bro, whatever y'all doing ain't working for our families. Period. That's it. This is just not working for our families. I can't raise my kids underneath these conditions. These conditions are nuts right now, bro. These conditions are nuts. I don't care how we have to fix it. I genuinely don't. But it's got to get fixed. And that's, again, I talked about that with the male loneliness epidemic. The issue of masculinity is men aren't going out and going, yo, we're too individualistic. We got to get responsibility to something. And when I'm telling people, all of us, even if you don't have kids, even if you don't want kids, they're already here. We have an obligation to them. We millennials know what it's like to have a generation before us that don't care about us. We know about it. We millennials know what it's like to have a generation before us who does not care about us. We cannot do these to those kids. At minimum, we got to show them how to fight. We might fail. We might not get the country that we imagine of. We might be strapped in. This might be the demise of America. And America might go through a 10, 20, 40, 50 year reconstruction. I don't know. But at minimum, we need to show these children what actualizing looks like. We owe it to them, bro. Come on, millennials. We know what it's like when the generation before didn't care. And what we got to do is like, listen, like you're making, it's not Trump's fault. You can't see what's going on. There's no conditions like you're making. It's not Trump's fault. Listen, okay, bro. Okay. Then go actualize that. Right? Like that's the stuff where we got to go, okay, cool. But we're talking about kids. We're talking about kids. Right? It's one of these things where it's like, listen, we just got to get like, we got to show these children what standing up looks like. We got to show these children, like, our words have got to mean something. We can't tell, like, you can't do it. Like, this is why people, I'm like, okay, let's not call him Trump. Let's do a hypothetical person, Mickey Mouse. If Mickey Mouse is a criminal, you cannot let him run for president. I don't care how great his ideas are. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he literally has the plan of salvation for humanity. Tell him to pass it to somebody who didn't commit crimes, because I can't raise my son. You can't raise your son and tell him crime doesn't pay when he's looking at the most powerful person in the world, and all the powerful people in the world commit crime. Like you can't, like, he's going to look at you like, Dad, Mom, you're just wrong. That you're actually suffering. Like, is that not what turned people to a life of crime? Growing up poor? Growing up and seeing like their parents doing the right thing, and it not, ain't that what leads people to that? So we can't keep telling our kids crime doesn't pay, and they're looking up and crime pays. At some point, when we tell our children crime doesn't pay, we got to go actualize that crime doesn't pay. And if the government's not going to do it, we are got to do it. And it doesn't mean that, oh, we're going to take up guns and no, it means that we stand firm and we go, this is where we're at. We're not negotiating with nothing over there. It's why I tell people, get off of the Trump content. Get off of anything that's got to get off of that, right? Get off of that. Go get a hobby, right? Go put yourself back in reality, right? Go put yourself back there. That's what you got to do, right? Because then you will start doing it. You'll start actualizing. You'll start moving differently, right? Just go. We're going to start living as we want the country to be right now. We're going to start living today as we want the country to be. And so if that means standing up for the defenseless locally, that's what we're going to do. You're not about to get me distracted, because there's nothing I can do about all that. Not right now. I'm doing what I can do right now. I am in my car. I got my manifesto and I got live, right? Everybody, y'all go do what y'all can do, whatever it is, right? We can't keep looking for leaders like the past who says, okay, we need to do ... Right? I don't know what you got to do locally, right? But I want to empower you to believe in yourself that you can. I want to empower you to go, you know what? I can start something with my 2 friends, or I can do this or whatever, and let it work. That is what the pro-human society looks like. The pro-human society doesn't look like, see, we're looking for rule books, right? When we're looking for rule books, do this, don't do this. That's what like the Bible is, all these different religious texts, all these different ideologies. We're looking for rule books. And what we got to understand is our leaders of the future can't give us rules. the leaders of the futures have to empower us. They have to awaken us. If you're not empowering me, if you're not awakening me, I genuinely don't care what you got to say, right? I genuinely, like if we're like, I'm trying to do better. Like this ride ends at some point. At some point, we all, nobody gets out of this thing alive. I don't want to waste what I do know that I have. I don't want to waste that on BS. I don't want to waste that, like, because the wrong people are in the wrong places, right? And so our leaders of the future, they got to inspire us. They got to empower us. We can't just, okay, well, the system says this is what it is, so this is what we're going to do. No, we got to abstain. I talked about people, and I talked about this with people. I think it's very important that Americans learn how to abstain your vote. I think Americans have this foolish idea that we always got to vote. But if you vote for the lesser of two evils, you're still voting for evil. And eventually, the most evil person wins. That's exactly how we got here. Everyone for years and years, lesser of two evils, lesser of two evils. Well, what's the standard? We are reinforcing a non-standard. And it's not that, oh, well, what if the other person I want doesn't win? If you don't like neither one, bro, if you think neither one is bad, then you need to make your voice heard by abstaining. And it's not that everybody else is not going to abstain. What it does is, when I used to tell people, it's like, so black folks, we vote like 80-90% Democrat. I used to tell people, yo, if we get that 80 to 90% down to like 67, they will show up in the hoods doing anything they can to get those votes back. You know what your politicians want. Votes. Don't give it to them. Then maybe they'll listen to you. Make them work for the vote. They don't have to work for the vote because it's been ingrained in us. We got to go vote. We got to go vote. If they keep putting up BS, bro, no, I'm not. You don't get my vote. You have not earned it. Make your politicians earn your vote. And don't let society guilt you for abstaining. No, I'm not voting for either one. They're both evil. They're both bad. Try again. 2 years, I'll try again. If you guys got somebody better in 2 years, awesome. Right? People go, you can't complain then. That don't even make sense. Y'all voted for the problem. Of course I can complain. Right? And again, we have a lot of scripts in society that when you take a step back, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If one, like, we have an electoral college system, I can literally abstain my vote and it won't matter. Right? But if I feel like neither one fits my principles, why am I going to betray myself to appease the system that wasn't even built for me? I'm going to make the next politician work. I'm going to make the next person who stands up and says, hey, I want to lead you, or I want to do something. That's where I'm at, right? That's where I'm at. I'm like, hey, let's come together every night. This wasn't anybody else's idea. This was my idea, right? I didn't wait for someone to tell me to do. I didn't wait for someone to tell me to write a manifesto or this or that. But, yeah. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is that we want to come around. Our unifying point, our collective voice, is the children. We are trying to build a society, the best possible society for all children, period. We got to get focused back on that. Because because that's how you get your heart back in this, to be honest. Stuff like this will make you feel like crazy, hopeless, desperate, depressed, anxious, stressed. And you got to remember that there are humans out there that, even with all this going on, this is the most magical place on earth to them. This is even everything with all this going on, your children are sitting there amazed. And we want to protect that wonder. We want to protect that curiosity, right? I think it is sad that we all go, well, the world is cold. It literally doesn't have to be. Like, there's literally a small portion of us. It's a very small portion of us with all the power, and we have been inundated for centuries and decades that we can't do anything about that power, right? This is why I'd be like, yo, let them destroy the institutions that gave them the power. We just need to be ready for when they fall. If they're going to destroy the institutions that gave them power, all right, we just got to be ready when they fall. As soon as hey, we got a constitution over here. Hey, we got principles. We're gonna build a better future for the kids. We're pro-human over here. That's our party, whatever y'all want to call it. Pro-human. Whatever is best for humans. Whatever is best for, the most children ever. We want to build the best possible society for the most children, right? Deport illegals, that's a tough one for me to go behind when, like, America, it's like, again, pro-human. It's like, what is an illegal? All right. Any more questions? Anything before we got here? Oh, other thing before you guys go, I'm moving this to 7. This is late. Initially, I just wanted to make sure that I had enough time to go to work, and I didn't want to be rushing after work. So I put it at 9. This is too late. Let's do 7. So I'll do 7. And right now it's every night. But I'll probably end up taking a night off one day, but I'll announce it. But we'll be back here tomorrow night. Let me know if you guys want to go through a section of the manifesto. I like, what our conversation, come in legally, up, all that. Cool. I think what I want to start doing is like talking for, 20 to 40 minutes, and then start seeing if I can, maybe less than that. But I'm gonna try to go back to see if you guys said some things. Oh yeah, they got all the Trump people in here. Okay, that's fine. Y'all like the haters be making me go up, bro. I love it. You're always gonna get pushed by your haters first. They come in and troll. Let them troll, dog. This is the height of their day. Let them troll. All right. If somebody's got a question or anything like that, thank you guys for showing up. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. We are on page. What page are we on? We are 79. Page 79. There's 103 pages. I think once I'm done with it, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I just came on here to plan to read my manifesto. So, but I really do believe in self-actualizing, because I didn't get this idea until I started reading it. Right? And that's the thing, like, as you self-actualize, as I've built an audience, as I've played with TikTok and understood it better, it's like, oh, I can get subscriptions now. Oh, I can do this. It's like part of, like, you just got to get started, man. We don't got to have all the answers. Okay. But all we got to do is get started. We're going to build a better America for all of our children, period. We're going to build a society for the people who can't. All right. I'll see you guys. Peace.